Hello, 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 and welcome to the last day 4 of our Big County Birdwatch review programs. How you doing, guys?
Oh, well, glad it's come to an end, I have to say.
Yeah, I think I need a little bit of sleep, to be fair. But yeah, it's been brilliant. Yeah, really, really good.
Yeah, fantastic.
How you been doing, Steve?
It's been tiring, and kind of ready to sleep for a week after it.
Yeah.
And that's the TV YouTube thing, not the bird during the day.
Exactly.
But no, it's been good.
Let's just hope the people watching aren't wanting to go to sleep as well.
Yeah, so as you can see, Matt is the Essex Birdwatching Society. Well, we are the Essex Birdwatching Society. We're members of it. And that's based in the UK, in England, for any that might be stumbling across this from overseas. So we're just kind of east of London. And 3 years ago, at the Society's 70th anniversary, we began a big county birdwatch over this type of weekend, September, kind of October time, when migration is happening in the UK. And we encouraged our members to get out and to see whether we could get a snapshot survey of the whole of the county of Essex. We're a coastal county. We actually, I think, are one of the counties, if not the county, with the longest coastline in the country. Lots of marshland, lots of nooks and crannies to explore. But the people of our society and the people of Essex got out, did a fantastic job with also guided walks. And we managed to do exactly that. And we'll be sharing a little bit of our history from that tonight as we look back over the last 3-4 days. But where have you guys been today?
Well, you go, Matt.
No, go on, Steve. Our day has been the same, so I think Steve should do it.
Okay, cheers. Yeah, so another early start again this morning in the dark. We went to Holland Haven this morning. Just to see if we could see any seabirds coming down the coast. And as probably all of you realised, the weather this morning was pretty atrocious from about 10 o'clock onwards. In fact, at one point we had like I don't know what they called it, like a water spout going across the sea.
Yeah,
which
was mad. It was crazy, wasn't it?
It was crazy. So yeah, we saw a few bits and bobs there, which was nice. And then by 12 o'clock or so, it was blue sky, sunshine. So we rounded off the day at fingering her wick.
Brilliant.
Just looking for some waders.
So for anybody who may not know Holland Haven or even fingering her, what's the nearest kind of large town to that particular location?
Yeah, so Holland Haven is just north of Clacton.
Right.
Oh, northeast Essex.
The coast.
Yeah, on the coast, and Fingering Her Wick is just south of Colchester on the River Colne. So, and both really nice birding places to go.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
One thing I'd say about Holland as well is if anyone wants to go there, there's usually one of the
lots of Dutch people in them, Matt.
Well, yeah.
There's usually say that about Holland.
One of the local birders on site. And they're really, really friendly over there, and they'll help you out and tell you where things are. So yeah, if you see anyone walking around with scope and bins, go and say hello, because they are really good guys over there.
That's good. Well, welcome to those that are watching live, and we need to give people details of how they can get in touch with us, because if you want to know any of the places, pick us up on this stuff. I just suddenly thought people might not know where Holland Haven is. I remember when we started off, we didn't have a clue about all these little names of blue house farms. I thought, well, there's loads of blue houses that are farms, There's lots of white house farms as well, But we take it for granted, don't we? And but if you don't know those kinds of things, get in touch and ask, and this is how you can.
Yeah. So anyone that wants to get in touch by email, you can email us at ebwstalks@gmail.com. You can also send a message in via the YouTube chat. So if you've logged into YouTube with your Google account, you can simply use the chat box and ask us a question or make a comment or say whatever you want to say, really. And I think, Steve, you're covering off Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, so with Twitter, you can contact us at EBWS Tweets, or at Essex Bird News if you prefer. And then Facebook, you can send us a message using us. EBWS Info is our Facebook page. Send us a direct message, and we look forward to hearing from you all.
Yeah, and just in case anyone wants to take a picture of this screen, these are pretty much the contact details we use for the monthly Birds of Essex as well. So take a picture. I'll leave it on screen for a few more seconds, and then you've got that information for good.
I'm sorry, I don't know what happened there. Kind of my internet kind of just froze or something. I don't know. It might have been a water spout. Sorry. Oh, my internet connection is unstable. I may have to re-log on, guys, but we'll see.
Okay.
Strange things happening here in Linford at the moment.
You're all good, Steve. You're all good.
Okay, right. What I was gonna say was if anybody is still stuck at a bird reserve now, and is not like one person, young man I know, kind of looking for tawny owls, then and you need petrol, then you might want to kind of send a message in. We can maybe kind of put a shout out for you. But quite a few people have had problems with petrol. Apparently, was it Martin Gathercole took a trip to Kent. He was involved in the Big County Birdwatch for the first couple of days, I think, and then I saw him tweeting, "I'm going to take a day off. I've got to go to Kent." And I don't think he's got back yet. I think he's kind of out of fuel and was last seen at Canterbury Cathedral. So we wish you well, Martin. And didn't you have somebody else contact you, Steve?
Yeah, Mick Woodruff was going to join us at Abberton on Saturday, but apparently Sudbury, which is just over the Essex border, was absolute chaos apparently, and there were like all sorts of people getting rather aggressive and various things. So yeah, so if you're out there trying to get petrol, stay safe and
get
some.
To be honest with you, it could be a little bit like going back to lockdown, really. Why not get out on your local patch? You want to do some birding the next few days. It saves some petrol, which you can't even get at the moment, and you can still bird your local patch.
Yeah. What I haven't said is my local patch was in this seat all day. I've actually been working kind of today, so I've not really been out. And not even a chaffinch would come to my bird table and give me some recluse. But Elaine went local as well, was conserving petrol. But
sorry to interrupt, but just quickly, if I just give you this, because young Malachi, who might be watching, has sent you in that. So there you go.
It's coming. Oh, brilliant. Oh, that's a sight for sore eyes, Malachi. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. It's a good picture as well.
Yeah, that's a cracking picture.
What a chaffinch looks like, Steve.
I'll be looking out for them, mate. No doubt there'll be 5 in the garden tomorrow when it's over.
Yes, absolutely.
It's good. So why don't you tell us the birds that have kind of managed to give you the little shirk and disappear from your radar, if you're watching things on your list that have either been highlights that you didn't expect to see that have been really nice surprises. We've all had some of those, but those naughty ones that got away as well. It's funny, isn't it? Every year we have certain species that are there and some real special things turning up, but then other things just kind of seem to melt away and you can't find one for love for money.
Yeah, well,
I'm not sure whether Mrs. S found a greenfinch, but she was out walking all day looking for one.
You know what? That's been my bogey bird. I've had no greenfinch over the weekend. Obviously, you're chaffinch, aren't you, Steve? You haven't had a chaffinch. What about you, Steve G? Have you?
Colt it.
Yeah.
Normally, I can hear them from the garden. Not a peep this time. Mind you, to be fair, I haven't been here during the day.
Which
helps, but
I had this image of every chaffinch in our neighbourhood seeing me go out and all cramming onto the bird table. So the car drive back and cleared off.
Oh dear.
They've probably got a Twitter page.
Yeah. So let us know what your bogey birds have been, and what your highlights have been, and how you found it. What you've enjoyed about the Big County Birdwatch. We'd love to receive your feedback and ideas and thoughts, maybe future years as well. We can take on board.
Yeah, I mean, following on from that, if anyone wants to either put anything in the chat for a quick comment, or if you've got any feedback for us at all. As Steve said, your favourite bits from any of the big county bird watches from the last 3 years or from the show we've done this weekend, maybe pop it on the email, use that email address that we mentioned earlier, and we will read them all and we'll come back to you, promise.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Good. Well, normally we'd have Andrew popping in at this point for our stats of the day, but unfortunately Andrew isn't able to be with us tonight. Has conveyed his apologies, but I'm looking at the dashboard now, Steve. Have you got it there? And
yeah, well, I've got some sort of bits and
info.
Yeah, I mean, obviously today people have been out and about. Final day. I mean, the weather's not been great today, as we know, so that probably reflects in the number of sightings reported to the society. And obviously, you know, people are back at work as well today for those working. So so we've had some nice, a few good sightings today. I don't know if I should go run through just a few highlights.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So basically, pectoral sandpipers, the 2 pectoral sandpipers are still at Blue House Farm this morning, as is the one at Raynham Marshes, which is good. So they're hanging around for a few days, which is good. Obviously, water level conditions are quite good at the minute, so you know, hopefully they'll stay for another week or so.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got Dave Smith. Sorry, Matt.
No, I was going to say I just went fingers crossed. Yeah.
Oh, fingers crossed. I think put your hand up. You want to ask a question?
I'm going to do mine tonight. Okay, so I'll be.
I thought you wanted the toilet or something. So
you may be excused.
Dave Smith. Yeah, Dave Smith headed to his local patches today. So he went to Mead Nature Reserve and to Shuttheath Wood. Mead's in Whittam, Shuttheath Wood is in Great Braxted. And at Shuttheath, he's had 3 grey wagtails and a flock of 23 house martins.
Wow, good.
So presumably moving with that weather this afternoon.
Yeah.
And kingfisher, I think it's his 4th kingfisher of the weekend, which is pretty greedy.
Good.
And then he went up to Shuttheath Wood where he had raven, another good local record, firecrest, nuthatch, and tree creeper. And I think the firecrest, nuthatch, and tree creeper was all in the same tree. So that's pretty good.
Definitely. I mean,
we need to know that tree.
That would have been 3 weekend ticks for me, definitely.
Yeah. So, and then obviously, as we said earlier, Matt and I went to Fingering-Hoe and Holland Haven today, and there was a nice bit of stuff passing the seas. We had 595 Brent geese passing south today.
Yep.
Tern, which was
nice.
Common scoter, red-breasted merganser, and then at where do we go? Fingering-Hoe. There were 2 nice juvenile ospreys this afternoon.
Very good.
Which is good. So, so not so many sites. Oh, sorry. And Bowers Marsh today, still 4 little stints. 2 green shank and rough from Jan Lewis.
Excellent.
Well, I can add to that Ben Rumsby after school. I don't know how he got on preschool. I might miss that message. Ben, forgive me. But he got 4 extras to his list after school. He went down to Coalhouse Fort, my local patch, and he had a winchat, wimbrel, and just had sandling among the Dunlin there. 2 sandling.
Oh.
So, and I think he's. You can pay me later, that Ben. He asked me just before the program started, do I know any hot spots or good spots for tawny owl? And we bumped into him in the car park. If you're watching last night, you've just seen us with a photograph of Ben and Michael, his dad, in the car park in the woodland on the right side of the road, where he went and saw the birds that we didn't see by going on the wrong side of the road. But I said that car park's pretty good for tawny owl. And just got a message. He says we were sitting in the car park where we saw you. Get in, and then he's given the number of his species because he's got a tawny owl. Well done, Ben.
Excellent. Well done. I was just going to say that perhaps I will go out with Ben next time, Matt, not Steve.
Yeah, you're going to ditch Matt. Say,
well, no, not Matt.
Matt's been ditching me.
Ditching you, yeah.
Ditching both of us. No, Ben's with me. We've already got kind of that contracted,
okay,
mate. You know,
right.
that was part of the Tony L. That was part of the Tony L agreement.
That's fine. I'll just stay at home and count sparrows and starlings. That's not a problem at all. That's fine. I know when I'm not wanted.
I was going to say that's one of the ideas I had. Yesterday we were walking around. We had to split the three of us and get some of the better birders in as well. It doesn't take much for me anyway.
Get some
And
proper
set
ones
up
in.
teams of people kind of to go with, into different abilities. A fun idea, but
Excellent.
yeah. Anyway, if you've got any other ideas, then let us know.
We've had some feedback, so lots of people saying hello. I won't
Who's
read
watching?
everyone out, but hello to everyone. So thanks for saying hi.
Cool.
Jim Hume finished on 106 species for the 4 days. So
Excellent.
that's 206 really with the AGP, because that was worth an extra 100. We said, I think. He's added 3 red kites, reed warbler, and garden warbler, whilst not birding today.
It's good.
That's pretty
Very good. Garden warbler's nice.
Yeah, very good.
I think that's the first I've heard.
He also had a cold tit calling from the old Marshall plantation at Fingering Hoe Wiki yesterday. Mel has told me he had 8 greenfinch on his bird feeders today. He did apologise, but you could have sent one my way. That would have been better than an apology. We've got Jim Hume. No sparrowhawk this weekend. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay, quite surprised at that. And he missed the Abberton goosander too, and didn't even see reed bunting either. So it's just amazing. You can go out birding and just miss stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ollie has tried for kingfisher twice and didn't find one.
And
King Cobra. Since watching you guys, I went through all my pictures on my computer, and I found a few from 2015 of white wagtail, dunnock, and possibly pied flycatcher at Holland Marshes. So that's really good. Excellent.
Brilliant.
They've also asked, how do you manage to count 595 geese? Now, we're going to come back to that.
That's a good point. We'll cover that later, shall we?
Yeah, we're going to do that.
To be fair, we had our shoes and socks off, and Christ, everyone that came past, their shoes and socks came off.
Are there any pebbles left on the beach there? Kind of.
Pictures. I don't think. Have you got any pictures from today? Obviously, Steve S. I'm assuming if you've been working all day, you probably have.
The only thing I was going to do, Matt, I don't know whether I'd do this point, is just look at the dashboard and those graphs that Andrew said about observers.
Yeah, good idea.
I share that screen there, which is the dashboard. How's that? You got that there?
It's coming.
Yep.
Okie dokie, good. So this is a dashboard that Andrew set up. We want to thank Andrew for all his work in helping us with the data. And on the website, please kind of log those of you that haven't logged your entries and have just been out, kind of writing them down, stuff like that. Please get them in as soon as you can, and then we can get that full picture. But it's really interesting. There's that kind of fun that we have kind of setting our own targets, to try and see as many as we can and things like that. And a lot of that's down to kind of, experience and ability, and also the, in terms of the ability of being able to get about, having wheels for a start, and petrol. But I was really encouraged that I was looking at this earlier, and I'm just going to preface this with when we started the big county Birdwatch, I actually presented something to the guys. Have you still got that image? Yep. And has it changed now? Okay. And our goals were to record, educate, partner people around Essex. Has my screen gone funny?
Oh, there you go. It's back again.
Oh, right. Yeah. And so we were trying to kind of go as broad as we could, watching, encourage people to be able to see species that they maybe didn't, visit places that they didn't, and particularly visit places that we'd not yet, or we didn't hear a lot from around the county. And on the graph here, there's 30 people, 29 people that have seen, 21 seen 0 to 19 species and recorded them. They may have seen more and yet to record the data. But we've got 20 to 39, so 98 observers that were in the 20 to 39 species. And then in the 40 to 49, another 5. So the majority of people by far are only seeing, kind of up to 20 species. And so that's great. That's not a problem. Don't feel kind of intimidated in any way by those that kind of got 100. Also, the one or two that were trying for 100 in a day, Jamie Thornton, I think got to 84. Great attempt, Jamie. That's fantastic total. I personally, when I looked at the weather and everything, I wasn't sure that 100 was possible really this year in a day without really being fortunate. But hats off to the 5 of you that have got the 100 and the 8 of you that are in the 70 to 99 and the 50 to 69s as well, the 2 there. But I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody that's taken part, and particularly those that have watched your local patch. See, here again, there's locations with only 0 to 19 species. That's probably gardens, local kind of parks, and woodlands are difficult. We went in the woodland yesterday. We only saw 2 species, or heard actually, and saw a ringneck parakeet, heard a great spotted woodpecker, maybe a wren. And so, it's all down to really where you want to go. And we don't all want to go to a particular hotspot, whatever the hotspot of the year of this BCBW is. We want to spread around and cover the whole county, really. And so thanks for helping us do that. And that's reflected in these graphs. So well done. And thank you. Yeah. Matt, you were going to say?
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely. I'll just echo everything you said. Yeah, I mean, this is. I've said it before. This isn't about us 3 going out and chase around the county and trying to get to 150 and beat each other. That's not what it's about. This is about encouraging everyone that's watching and everyone that takes part, whether it be society members or members of the public, to get out, to go and watch birds, to get involved with birds, nature in general, to kind of spread that feeling. It's good for you. It's been proven that getting out and interacting with nature has health benefits. So these are things that we should all be doing, and the information that you then feed back to the Essex Birdwatching Society is really important, and it gives us, as I said, a really good snapshot of the year-on-year picture for this weekend. But if you've enjoyed doing it, keep going. The Essex Birdwatching Society is there all the time. You can put your sightings on every time you go bird watching. It's very cheap. I mean, how much is it to join? It's £16, isn't it, guys?
Oh, yeah. It's fantastic value.
Yeah,
that's an adult. Junior memberships.
And you get 2 magazines a year. You get a copy of the Essex Bird Report every year. It's a great place to partake in bird watching. It's a really good community. And you meet some really great people. And if you're unlucky, you might meet one of us. But it's a great place. And please get involved.
Yeah.
And also, Matt, of course, there's our evening talks and field trips as well.
Yeah.
Which, more than welcome to come along on. We love to see new people.
Yeah. Yeah, we ought to have those dates by the end of the programme for the to let people know when the next field trip.
Yeah, I've got
and also the Birds of Essex will be having that restart soon. So we'll give you that date later on.
The next indoor meeting is actually this Friday, and you don't have to be a member to attend. So if you want to come to that, look on the ebws.org.uk website, and details are there. And I think this Friday is on the Birds of Epping, isn't it?
It's Finding Wildlife in Epping Forest by Peter Warren. So, and he's an expert on the wildlife of Epping Forest. So sounds really, really good talk.
So if you are kind of, interested in that or live in that area and want to kind of, get some tips and get some inside knowledge, it's at the Quaker Meeting House in Chelmsford.
Yep.
And it starts at 7:30? 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Yeah. Great. It'd be great to see you there. I think it's £4 donation.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Oh. Minimal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's £4 for guests.
And there's a new beat.
£4 for guests, £3 for members.
There you go. Yep. Good. So it'd be great to see you there.
Yep.
Yeah. And again, for any that are watching that haven't been, we've only had kind of one of the indoor meetings, I think the AGM. But if you kind of, not been to that kind of thing again, then consider. I know with the COVID thing, it's disrupted all of our lives in that way in terms of meeting together and gathering together. But they do kind of take safety and the COVID measures seriously, and so you'll be more than welcome, and you'll be safe.
Yep.
Good.
Can we do some pictures?
Absolutely.
Woo! Right. So
what we got?
Stevie G, did you take any pictures today or not?
No.
Okay.
There you go. That's a simple answer, wasn't it?
Thanks, mate. Brilliant. This is going well.
It's down to yours, Matt. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I've taken 2, but we have got a lot of pictures that have been sent in. And we got a little treat coming up at the end of the show as well for everyone. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But the 2 I've taken today, the first one, or technically the second one, but you'll see why in a minute, was this. Now, this was the best. We went to fingering. Yeah, I know. We went to Fingering Hoe today for the American Golden Plover that Jim Hume saw yesterday with Yvonne. Unfortunately, we sat there from about 1:30 through till 4:30, I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
We looked at every single golden plover, and then we looked at them again, and then some more came in, and we looked at them, and then we looked at the first ones again, and then we looked at some more again, and you get the general idea. And it wasn't there, so it's probably still around, hopefully, but we didn't see it. However, there was a leucistic oyster catcher, which is something I've not seen before. So I just grabbed a pic and managed to get a standard oyster catcher in the background. So you can see the markings are still present, but obviously
it's shady, isn't it?
Yeah, it's faded out. Yeah, it's
Matt,
really cool.
So I was saying I photographed this bird maybe, let me think, on the 31st of August, I photographed this bird, and I said it was leucistic, and a Spanish scientist came back and said it has, now I don't know how I'm going to pronounce this, it has non-human, I can't even say it, non-eumelanin schizochromism.
Oh.
Because it's got a pale brown colour to it, apparently.
Right.
I think that means it's leucistic.
Oh, do you know what? I have no idea what it's can't even say it. Never mind.
Yeah, which translated into English is leucistic.
One thing I'm pretty sure is it's not albino, because albinos are kind of pure white and they have pink.
That would be white in the legs and beak as well, wouldn't it, Matt?
Yeah, and really pale eye, I think, as well. Yeah.
What date was that, Steve, when you photographed it?
It was 31st of August.
So it's been around for about a month.
Sorry, a month, yeah. And then I think David Bradnam saw it at Old Hall Marshes. Well, almost certainly the same bird. I think that was in like June or July.
Because I don't know whether you guys have heard this, but I've heard with leucistic animals, often they're taken out by predators because they kind of stand out. You know, that I don't know whether that's just kind of folklore or whatever. Have you ever heard that? Or if anybody is out there
I've heard that.
Can establish that. Obviously, if a peregrine's going through a flock of waders, you know, they want to lock on one, and part of the murmuration tactic is to distract it by the numbers. And if you can get on a white one or a pale one or something, makes sense, but maybe it makes too much sense, and nature just kind of throws a curveball. But it'd be interesting to keep an eye out for that, and for anybody who sees it to let us know, maybe monthly on the Birds of Essex, if it's still about. It can become. We need a name for it, like kind of Miss Lee Med.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, if anyone can think of a
name,
catchy fun name for an oyster catcher, then yes, let us know.
And where is it? Fingering Hoe.
Fingering Hoe. And interestingly, there was the leucistic redshank there today as well, which has been there for at least 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, it's been there a long time. Yeah,
keeps coming back. So yeah, but this only other
evolution is really incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The only other picture I've taken today was at Holland Haven, and it was this one. Now, this is obviously the Essex Birdwatching Society's logo, if people aren't already aware of that. Well, this actually isn't, but it's the bird that features on the logo. Obviously, the Brent goose, which is synonymous with the Essex coast and wintertime. And Steve and I counted 595 Brent geese going through. Now, yesterday, I think I had 1,400 and something or other going through. And we've been asked a question tonight: how do you count 595 geese? So what you do, you go one. No. What you do? Each pulse that comes through,
50 times. Then
you basically either count them individually if you can, or you roughly guess. You can group the birds. You can say, right, there's 10 over there, so that 10 looks that big. There's another 10 there, another 10 there, another 10 there. That's 40. Then you write that down. And then if you get 3 come through, you write down 3, and so on and so on. So that's why sometimes you end up with 3,412, because all of these chunks you then add together at the end.
Yep.
And that's the number that you get at the end. The other way you can do it is you can take photographs and then obviously count the birds properly when you get home. But I think most people use the first method, and there are some people that are amazingly good. You get flocks of knot, for example, go up, and some people can glance at a flock of knot and they know there's 5,000 or 7,000 birds there. And again, it's just practice. So hopefully that answers the question. And that's the only 2 pictures that I took today, but we've got loads more from other people, as I said.
There is another way, Matt, that people use that I've seen used, and that is you can buy little clickers. Yeah.
Yep.
And when birds are flying through, like geese, if it's a flock of, dunlin or waders, and they're just kind of one big square area of dots, then you have to group them. But if they're in a line like geese, then you can click them through with, you can either get these little kind of digital ones or the traditional kind of rounder clickers. Some people use those, I've seen. But the other thing to say on that is, particularly with geese and around the coast, people will count them in one direction, or count them by direction. If there's kind of so many gone one south, say, and so many go north, they'll kind of, then kind of consider, are they the same birds kind of going backwards and forwards, or is there a continual stream, or what is the difference, to actually get that factor of, okay, how many are heading south? Elaine had fun doing that a few years ago on Skokam Island as the swallows were coming through, and then it's amazing when you just see swallows and you've got a clicker in your pocket. Every time you see one fly, left to right as you walk in, click, 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 click. And then you look after an hour, and then you multiply that by the number of hours that you've walked where there's consistently been swallows doing the same. You can get thousands of swallows have gone past you in a day.
Yeah. It's also the clickers are quite useful if you've got a static flock of birds, because if you're trying to count 500 birds in your head, it's actually very easy to lose count while you're trying to work out if there's 1 or 2 birds sat there. So again, the clicker, you don't have to think about counting, you're just looking. It's much easier. We have had some comments. Can I do some comments?
Yeah, please.
So we've got Jim Hume said he should have hit Old Hall 2 this weekend. He'd have added at least another half dozen species, he reckons. Yeah. So, I mean, Old Hall was pretty productive. We went on, when did we go on to Old Hall? Was it Saturday? Friday. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. And Jim Humes also said 2 of the red kites were over the A120 near the King's Head this morning.
Nice.
And the Reed and Garden warblers were on a private estate near Great Yildham. So even when you're out about working, you can still be bird watching. Even I work in retail, and if I have to walk into the car park of my store, I'm bird watching for a minute. My ears are picking up. I had a grey wagtail the other day fly over the car park. Always bird watching. Yep. Jim Hume, he had the leucistic redshank as well yesterday, and he said he's gutted we didn't see the AGP. So thanks, Jim. But we tried, and once again, brilliant sighting. Well done.
No, fantastic.
What else have we got? Mel Shepherd. He said unfortunately he can't make Friday, which is a shame because he lives in Epping, so
that's a good point though. In terms of it can be a bit of a trek across the county, but let's see if anybody's.
King Cobra said leucistic has normal coloured eyes, and the albino have red eyes. So thank you for that.
That's good point. Yeah, actually, I'm going to get into trouble later because my wife knows all about this melanin type thing with her medical nursing stuff. So.
And Tim
Hayward saw what the Spanish guy said was true.
Tim Hayward saw the oyster catcher on the 22nd of August.
Excellent.
It's been around, well, how long is that? About 5 weeks now, maybe something like that.
Yeah, good. Yeah, 6 weeks.
And we've got some name suggestions as well. So King Cobra says Pearl, as it's a white oyster catcher, quite like that. And Malachi reckons it should be called Snowy, and he doesn't think it's. He said he doesn't think it's leucistic or albino. He thinks it just took one look at Steve G and went pale.
Thanks, Malachi. I really appreciate
that's brilliant.
Brilliant. Love that.
Oh, that's a good. a double header tonight. The chaffinch and that gag. Malachi, you've got gag of the night from me so far on that. Has anybody beat that one?
Cool.
I just had a message, some feedback, Matt, from Carol Parker. He said, thanks to all four of you for an informative and entertaining 4 nights.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's nice. Thank you.
You stayed awake to watch it then, which is good.
Yeah.
Right. So we've got lots of other pictures coming up from other people, but normally in our little run through, the next thing we do is where are we going tomorrow? So I'm going to work, unfortunately. So we're not doing this tomorrow, so I think we're all going to miss it.
I'm going to write.
Yeah, it's been great.
Get some sleep first.
Right, what next, guys? Should we do some pictures from people that have sent in, or?
Well, I've got some stats for the whole weekend as well.
Let's do that.
Go for it.
Yeah.
So obviously we've had Andrew Duckett on the last 3 nights. He's our webmaster, and he's been telling us the stats with all their sightings and numbers of reports, like Steve said earlier, with the bar charts. So we've got 3 sort of sections tonight. So I think we'll do the most common species first. So the top 3 species this weekend. What do you reckon then, guys?
Top 3.
Number 3.
But should we do our own top 3 first? What we enjoyed? For me, love the Manx Shearwater bonksy action yesterday at Canby. That would be my action highlight. But bird. I don't know. What do you think, Matt? What would be yours?
I suppose you've got the most common species recorded within the county.
Yeah.
But then we've got the rarest species recorded in the county.
Oh,
I think ringneck parakeets up there.
most common, I'm going to guess at wood pigeon.
Okay, well, you'd be correct. Well done.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
What about number 2? What about number 2 and 3 then?
Wood pigeon was the winner in 2019 as well.
Okay, so
top recorded bird.
Number 2. What do you reckon, Steve? Number 2.
Well, in 2019, buzzard, goldfinch, and starling were the top 3, and I bet it isn't buzzard this year, even though we've had not dissimilar weather in terms of thermals and warmth. I reckon probably blue tit.
No.
Starling.
No, it's I'll tell you what it was. It's magpie.
Magpie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Starling was number 4.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, magpie, blue tit were joint 3rd in 2019. So
interesting enough, buzzard was number 19.
Wow.
Yeah,
so really dropped down the rankings this year.
That is interesting.
And number 3 was great tit. So,
I was gonna guess at yellow-billed teal.
Thank goodness it wasn't chaffinch.
yeah, that wouldn't have been great.
That would have hurt.
Oh dear.
And then obviously we've got obviously there was some there was a good number. We had 161 species, Steve, wasn't it, recorded?
There's actually
was it gone up now?
Yeah, the dashboard is now on 162.
Excellent.
I can't click exactly what they were, but I think Andrew sorted out some of the anomalies where we got the same name because of the naming of birds changing. There was some kind of duplication. But yeah, 162 species. What I can say in 2019, do you think it was higher or like a Bruce's back, higher or lower than 162?
Lower.
Yeah.
Lower 2019. Yeah.
The old.
Lower. Steve says higher. Is that right? You higher?
Higher. What?
Or lower?
Or what was the weather like?
Sunny, hot.
No, it was higher, but only slightly, I reckon.
What do you say, Matt?
I'm going lower.
You're going lower.
Yeah.
In 2019, we had 136 lists from 62 different observers visiting at least 115 sites or locations, reporting 170 different species of bird in Essex. But only because of the one and only chair of the Essex Birdwatching Society, guinea fowl was on that list.
What?
I think you had him again this year. To be fair, I think you had him this year.
But I don't know whether your cockerel got on there, Matt.
So what? Yeah, what with Matt's chicken and now Jerry's guinea fowl.
Although I did think, I don't know whether you guys, I haven't hardly seen any news this last week. So today I was able to catch up on all the news from my study here. And apparently there's going to be a turkey shortage at Christmas. So I thought, Matt, you've got the solution, cock-a-doodle-doo, to the rescue.
Garden, don't worry.
Excellent.
Apologies to any that are declining meat, but
so back to our stats. Just whip through these pretty quickly. And also the top rarities. So so number 2 was pectoral sandpiper. It's a regular bird in Essex at most years. So that goes in number 2, and then obviously number 1.
It's got to be, isn't it? Old All Marshes.
Red-breasted goose.
Red-breasted goose all the way.
That's the winner because that's incredibly rare.
We haven't.
To be fair,
we haven't.
Is that Jim Hume I can hear?
Yeah, we haven't missed anything, have we?
No, I don't think so. I mean, obviously, wasn't there an American golden plover? But we didn't see that, so
yeah, we didn't see
none
that.
of us saw that, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, that doesn't count. Yeah,
that's off the list. Quick, get on the dashboard and reject that one, Matt. No, well done. Stand out. Absolutely.
That was.
Hopefully, it'll pop up again because that's a bird that I have dipped, as we use the word, that we've been to try and see one that's been reported and missed, and it's not been there on 3 occasions in 3 different counties. I was in Bristol when one turned up at Somerset. I had a day off when I was with my son, went down to Sturtmash somewhere, try and see it, and didn't see it, and it turned up 20 minutes after I had to go. I went to Kent, to Cliff, for one that had been there yonks, and on the day I went, it left in the morning before I arrived. And then I was up in Norfolk buying a new telescope, and one just happened to pop up at the local reserve. And then before I set off to go and see it, that had gone as well. So to dip it in my own county, surely not. It's coming home. AGP's coming home. Anyway, yeah, let's hope that one does show up again. What about reserves? Should we do that next? Or do you want to do some photos, Matt?
Yeah,
and then we'll come back to that.
I'm having loads of photos coming in on
let's have them.
as well, guys.
Yeah, let's have them. So we've got photos at the end as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing is this tonight's show, just to let you all know, might go a little bit longer than the hour because there's a lot of pictures you're all sending in and we want to show them all.
Yeah.
And we're going to do a few brief stats on the reserves and various sites in a short while. So while I'm waffling, let me see if I can queue up some pictures. So Dave Smith, as Steve said earlier on, he went to Shut Heathwood today, and I've got a couple of pictures from him. That's obviously the
that's nice.
Firecrest. Yeah, so that's really lovely. And that's obviously, for those that don't know, Firecrests look a little bit kind of greener on the back than a Goldcrest, and of course they have this beautiful white eye stripe or supercilium with the dark line going through the eye. So they're really cracking little birds.
Tiny little bird.
Oh, teeny tiny.
Yeah.
And obviously this one is a nuthatch.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh, that's what they look like then. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great picture.
So they are still Essex, and even though we couldn't find one, well done, Dave, for finding a nuthatch. That's a great picture. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's pics from Dave. So again, just bear with me because I have these all.
Weren't you guys going to go? Weren't you going to Shut Heathwood, Steve? But you decided to come down here and trust me to take you to Langdon Hills and the Woodland there instead.
Yeah, I think the conversation went that we were going to pop into Shut Heath and get tree creeper and nuthatch, and weren't we told that Langdon Hills would?
Oh, absolutely, definitely.
It's got everything, and even
they're there.
Becker, I think I heard.
Nailed on, I think was the phrase. Yeah. We've had some pictures come through from a lady called Elaine Swinney.
Oh yeah.
And I think this is your lovely wife Elaine, and she shared just some general pictures she's taken over the weekend through a brand new stoke. So this is some cormorant, mallard, tufty or a pochard on the pochard, I think, on the
Yeah,
left.
that's a pochard.
Yeah, very nice.
So yeah, they look that looks really nice, and we've got obviously a record shot of the number one rarity
This
of
was
the
from
weekend.
the other day.
We've got some grey lags in the background, and looks like again probably a pochard on the front there, I think. That looks good. And then a nice shot of mute swan, grey lag, and 4 little egrets.
Little egrets, yeah. The cattle egret had just flown at that point. That was a Rainham.
And then this was obviously Steve's bird of the weekend because he hadn't seen one.
What a shot. I love that. That's brilliant.
We were all sat on Canvey Point, and Steve was moaning, even though we had manx, razorbill, skewers, and all sorts of things go past. He was kind of getting really frustrated that he hadn't seen a turnstone. And Elaine went off around the corner to see what she could see, and she came running back, and she's like, Steve, I've got a turnstone. And I've never seen. He may as well have been Usain Bolt. I'm not kidding. He just gone down the corner, and he came back and he did a little dance, and yeah, so that was good fun. So
thank you, Elaine, for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. Right, who's next?
The other news on that, Matt, while you're getting the next ready, was
there
used to be a joke at Canvey Island. All you need to do is get a bag of chips and you'd have a turnstone by your feet. But they've become more refined in their eating habits. That was actually eating bird seed. Somebody put bird seed on it. And I got a picture, should have printed it out, with a wood pigeon next to it. Oddity on the bird table, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
To be fair, Steve, if I had any chips, I would have eaten them myself. So, I wouldn't have shared them with a turnstone.
Nobody shared with me.
Right, so Nick Layer sent in some pics he's taken over the weekend, and this is a cracker. This is one for Jim, obviously. Lovely sparrowhawk.
Lovely,
they're really lovely. And some more turnstones. That's a nice picture. I like that picture.
That's
really
good.
Nice. Yeah, good one. And then a flock of starlings.
Nice.
None of them pink. Have to get your Photoshop out maybe. And we've got another shot of sparrowhawk, some male sparrowhawk.
On the seawall at East Tilbury, by the looks.
Young male, yeah, it's that young male.
Yeah.
So yeah, beautiful shot. So thank
you
very much.
Well done, Nick. Good job.
I think he gave us a little bit of information actually. He said the female sparrowhawk was seen on Saturday on the seawall. Oh, maybe it is a female. It looked like a young male, but I'm probably wrong. The turnstones and the flock of starling was at EWT Shrewsbury Nest Gunners Park. And he's so thank you very much indeed, Nick.
There is a female around though as well that's really around the seawall.
Yeah,
I think we probably saw it. Did we see one there on them
yesterday?
Sunday, yeah.
So Oliver Cottis sent some pictures in from today, and he said he got a little bit distracted today and didn't do as much bird watching as he should do because he saw this. Toad.
Oh, is that a toad?
Yeah, I think so. It's got
lovely picture.
Yeah.
Lovely shot, yeah.
Gorgeous shot. Gorgeous.
Really
Someone correct me, please, if it is a frog, but I think it looks like a toad.
Yeah, toad, isn't it?
And that looks like a grass snake, I think, which is really nice.
Yeah, so, it's got the white band around the back of the head, isn't it?
Yeah.
White, yellow, fantastic.
So thank you very much for those, Oliver. And just to say, I mean, went out a couple of times with Ollie over the weekend, met up with him, and he's so good at spotting reptiles and spiders and all the things that are by your feet as you're walking past. So us birders, we're all walking past doing this, and Ollie's looking at the ground and finding things that we miss. So yeah, thank you for that. Really good. Right, who's next? Hold on, I just closed down the wrong window, so bear with me. We've got a picture and a report from Paul Brayshaw. So once again, thank you, Paul, for sending the images and also your reports every day. Really appreciated.
Be interested to know what's been happening today in that weather, whether that had an effect upon migration or stopped it.
I mean, I think, obviously he's taken a picture here that there's a lot of the Brent going past today were very distant. Yeah. So again, I
saw a report. Somebody said about 3,000 now, because again, if you want to see Brent geese and you're not kind of from the south end there and don't know about it, there's a huge, great flock gather at Leon Sea, just by the railway station. Actually, you can see them in there, and the RSPB used to kind of have guides there, kind of pointing. Well, you don't have them pointed out. These black geese kind of look a little bit larger than a duck, all in the water and then on the mud feeding around Leon Sea. good place to go at the weekend if you want to see them this time of year.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And the noise they make is spectacular as well. If you get a flock flying over your head. Yeah, fantastic.
Lovely sound.
So Paul said, cracking sea this morning with strong wind and rain at times, as Matt and Steve G well known. Yeah, we did get pretty wet. He stayed inside in the dry, probably what we should have done, to be fair. But the Brent continued to pass. Most passage in the morning, but small numbers continuing during the afternoon in the sun. His total was 851, plus 29 gannet, 3 red-throated diver, and was the only addition to the Holland Haven total. So he had an extra 3 red throats and some extra gannet to us as well. The interesting thing with that, I mean, obviously Paul was watching for a bit longer than we did, but you quite often find that Paul will find things at Frinton and they're coming south. So you'd expect to see them at Holland.
I was going to ask you, did you see that kind of number there, or?
No, I mean, we had...
How many Brent did you have?
595 Brent. So
right,
you know, we did pretty well.
were they all moving south?
Yeah, they were all going south.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say was that often things seen at Frinton don't get seen at Holland. And Steve, we were discussing earlier, weren't we, that they think maybe the wind farms are possibly
potential. Yeah,
one theory.
Yeah.
So the birds, because the coast kind of hugs in, doesn't it, Holland? And maybe the birds sort of see that and see the wind farms and steer clear. It's just a theory, but it's interesting. Definitely.
I was reading something up at Flamborough when I was up there at the in the summer. And by the way, while I was there at Bempton, I saw the albatross. But just to let you know, at Flamborough, they were talking about research they're doing up there on the wind farms and spurn as well, as loads of them. And there's definitely birds that do avoid them. They're tracking around them. They're not sure yet. You know, there are casualties to them, but they're not sure yet of the actual impact. But I saw something on Twitter tonight that one of the energy companies was promoting. It was actually a Financial Times supported tweet that they've just kind of designed floating wind turbines. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, if these things are kind of rocking forwards and backwards, as well as spinning, that could be a disaster for seabirds. You know, we want, you know, the energy problem solved and we want some petrol, but, you know, it's quite, you know, galling really, isn't it? Kind of when you think difficult, difficult days. Anyway, I tweeted about that. We'll leave that there.
Just a small handful of pics. So Ben Rumsby sent in this lovely picture. So Ben single-handedly found his own Caspian gull. Well,
it's a Caspian gull.
It's not his own. I think he's left it there. I think he left it to go back to the wild. But
that's nice.
This bird here, so you can see really clearly. It's got the very sort of shallow angle to the forehead. Yep. Small beady eye. It's got the long beak. It lacks, or usually lacks, what's called the glonnis angle, which is the bit at the bottom of the beak that most gulls you can see up here have got like a pointed angle at the bottom of the beak. And the Caspian is usually quite straight. And then the markings on the feathers are a bit different. I'm not sure if this is a possibly a first winter bird, you think? Or, yeah. And the markings on the scaps and the tertials and the wing coverts are a little bit different to the herring gull and the yellow-legged gull. So that's a really good find. Really good find.
Sorry, Matt. I was going to say, has that nice sort of grey shawl around the back of the neck as well?
Yes. Yeah. It tends to go pale. Pale on the mantle. Yeah.
It's a nice mix of birds there, isn't it? Kind of.
Yeah.
Is that crow and then avocet? Yeah. Black-tailed godwit by the looks.
Yeah, blackwit over here, lapwing.
And a lapwing in the front as well.
I guess this probably looks massive, so it might be a great blackback. I'm not sure. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for that, Ben. Really good picture.
Good.
We've got a Dunnock, and this is from John Ward. So hi, John.
Very nice.
And that's a lovely picture.
Well captured.
Yeah,
really nice picture.
See the spider's webs.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. And what I like about this, right, everyone thinks that a Dunnock is just like a little brown bird. So if you've not seen a Dunnock clearly, and I expect most people have, but if you haven't, next time you get one in your scope, just take a couple of seconds and have a look at it. Yeah. Because they are beautiful. They really are lovely little things. we've got some pictures from, or a picture from Martin Gathercole, and that's a group of greenshank. My camera's in the way, but I think, is there 5 there, guys?
6.
6, sorry. There's one. Oh, there's one. There's literally one behind my camera. Yeah, sorry. So thank you very much for that, Martin. That's a lovely little group of greenshank. And we've got a mandarin from Mel.
Excellent.
So that's really nice as well.
Lovely.
And I think finally, we've got the osprey from Ben. I'm assuming that was the fingering hoe bird.
Yeah, that was the fingering hoe one. Yeah. Nice juvenile.
So that's, I think at the moment, that's all the pictures that I've prepped, but we have had some more come through on emails while I've been talking. So that's why I'm saying we might go on a little bit longer tonight. Yeah, sorry. But obviously it's the last show and I don't want to miss anyone's pictures.
Got to kind of cram them in quick because we're running out of time now. So
we may go a little bit
let's
over,
do them.
of course.
You might, but I've got to go.
Okay. Well, I'll stay and show pictures and that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so what have we got? Let's run through. We've got, these are just going to be on my emails now. So we've got pictures here of blackwit and wheatear, and they were from Adrian Watts. So thank you very much. Apologies that people can see the screen here, but obviously I've not had time to prep anything on these. Again, more pictures from Adrian, bearded tit.
Oh, that was a Haybridge Basin, Matt.
Oh, okay, lovely.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that's a really nice picture. Look at that. Lovely picture.
Brilliant.
And is that a young male? Or female?
Yeah, it looks
kind of black eye.
And flock of turnstone.
That's a big flock, isn't it? Turnstone.
Yeah. Really nice. Thank you for that one. We'll just rattle through these because obviously we are running a little bit short on time.
That's all right.
Got a picture from Michael Rumsby of Coalhouse Fort. There you go, Steve.
Oh, that's lovely.
Really nice.
That's the Barters building there in the background.
Yeah, lovely shot.
Fantastic.
Another couple more from Adrian Watts. Lovely close up of a lapwing. Again, another bird.
That's good.
You know, a lot of people don't look at them properly, but when you do, they're beautiful.
Do we know where that's from or not?
I'm not sure. We'll check in a second.
Okay.
You said any chance of ID on the goose? I think it's a grey lag. It's just one of the weird grey lags.
Like a grey lag. It's probably asking because it's got that white nasal band, but the white fronts and things like that, they all have those geese have a much smaller, darker beak. Anything with a great big, my little simple way of memory, anything with a great big carrot on its face is a grey lag.
Yeah, definitely. And the grey lags, you know, you get a bit of interbreeding and mixing.
Yeah.
A lot of them do have white markings around the base of the bill. So that's that one. We've got Dave Smith. Let's have a look. Oh, those are the pictures. I think I might have done those already. You just sent a reply. Sorry, guys.
Good.
Ben Rumsby, photo of the wind chat. So I can't remember where he saw the wind chat. Where was the wind chat?
Coalhouse Fort.
Coalhouse Fort. Yeah, that was in the Triple SI, probably the one that Paul Hawkins spotted on Sunday.
Excellent.
Fabulous.
So that looks like it's in the Triple SI.
Jerry's saying that there was a white starling at Blue House Farm yesterday. Surprised the peregrine didn't go for it.
Ah, very interesting.
Thanks, Jerry, and hi if you're watching. And then finally, there you go, Steve, another
chaffinch for me. Oh, that's interesting. That one's got that kind of disease on the feet that they often have at the moment. A lovely bird. Real stunning bird, chaffinch. Lovely colours, contrast.
I think that's all of the
good.
All of the pictures.
We may have to say you might need to stop sending pictures in now, so we're probably not going to be able to kind of show anymore. But we do want to thank you all for sending the stuff in. I know it's been difficult because everybody's kind of been gathering stuff up till now. But brilliant, round of applause to everyone. And but you know, just because we can't show them now doesn't mean we can't show them later. We've got the Birds of Essex planned. Do you have that date, Steve, for people?
Yeah, I'm hoping, we normally do a Friday, but I'm hoping the 21st of October, which is a Thursday.
We might have to shift it across.
Yeah, as if Matt can make it. We don't know yet.
So pencil that one in.
Yeah, so that'd be nice to be back doing the Birds of Essex again.
But and even before that, you don't have to kind of leave it till the day. We'll probably be discussing Big County Birdwatch at that anyway. So we can cover photographs and other thoughts and comments and things that we have missed, or we'll probably have the follow picture with everybody's details all recorded and get those recordings in. But good. Did you want to just round up on actual locations, Steve?
So as we've done the top recording.
And you had something on.
Yeah, I've got a bit on the site.
Patches.
So the top 3 sites in terms of actual number of species seen. Number 3, I won't do a let's guess what they are because we are running out of time.
No, we'll just go for
number 3 was Coal House on 89 species.
That was first place on 89 species in 2019.
Number 2 was Abberton on 98 species.
And Abberton was second with 86. So that's improved.
Number 1 this year with 101 species. I think it's the first time a site's topped 100 species, I think. And that was Old Hall Marshes. So, really, really good.
I think it is. Yeah, I think that's the first time over 100. That's excellent.
It's worth walking around Old Hall. It's a bit of a slog, but it's worth doing.
And I'm just going to say, in a nutshell, Steve, tell us in a couple of sentences, why is Old Hall so good? Is it this time of year? Coast?
Oh, crikey. Well, to be fair, I mean, obviously it's September, so we've got summer birds, winter birds.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got mud, so you're going to get 20 odd species of wader. Quickly, you've got lots of wetland areas like freshwater for ducks. There's obviously egrets, herons, you name it.
Yeah,
it's there. So
if you do want the big numbers, you need to try and find a coastal type habitat, marshy, boggy, muddy, freshwater and salt. That's one of the keys.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right.
Just some quick mentions as well. Special mentions for just a couple of the sites out there. We've already mentioned Sunny Mead Farm with Mo and Dave doing the brilliant work. I think they finished on 51, and they're doing some really good conservation work on their farm. So again, well done. That's brilliant work. And we also mentioned already Mersey Island with Steve and Dougal and all the guys that cover Mersey. They do some great work covering the whole of the island, basically. And again, some good numbers from Mersey. I didn't write down the total, but maybe, I don't know if Steve, you can check while I'm talking. We've got Roding Valley Nature Reserve, which
excellent.
That's down the south of the county, I think, isn't it?
It's on the London side, on the west map, right into London, almost into Tottenham type territory. Chingford, Essex runs through there, and then probably out towards Brentwood. But I visited there in the summer. Fantastic site, and thank you. Essex is London as well as rural, and I think it's important we remember that. And there's some great reserves over there in London. Rainham for one, Walthamstow Wetlands, Roding for another, Epping Forest, and so we need to make sure we remember and link into those metropolitan type sites. They're important. There's loads of people are interested in wildlife out there as well.
Definitely. So that site had 47 species overall. Gosbeck's farm in Colchester, it's not really a farm, it's just a name for an area. But I think Oliver Cottis, that was his patch that he covered, and he got to 35 species. So well done, Oliver. That's great work.
Yeah.
And a quick mention for Wetmead Nature Reserve. Now, I've been to Wetmead 3 or 4 times.
Where's that, Matt? I don't know that.
Yeah, it's kind of pretty much in the middle of Witham. It's just slightly out, just off the high street and about a mile down the road. And it's a brilliant little site. You can walk around in a loop. There's a river that runs all the way around it. There's scrubland, there's reeds, you get dragonflies, butterflies, and Dave Smith reported 27 species of bird there when he went round at the weekend.
Wow, so, that's great. You know what would be really, really good, and we've talked about this in the past, and we wanted to cover this. If people are watching, people that see this later, your local patch, if you could kind of, even with your phone, take some photographs of it and do a little write-up about it, what the habitat, you don't have to be clever and know every plant and things like that. Just, what's good about it, where it is, please be generous and share it. Don't keep it to yourself, but we'd love to have that on our website and maybe feature some, maybe Steve wants in Birds of Essex or something like that. So we're spreading the word because, we can share the details that we have from our own local areas, and that'd be to the benefit of all.
I think the other thing you could do as well is there are these little places locally, or not necessarily even locally, but that you don't go to, or that no one goes to. And if no one's covering it,
neglected sites.
So get a map, go on Google Maps, and maybe every once in a while, just pick a green area that's near you and just check you can obviously access it you're allowed to access it, of course. But if it's publicly accessible, go and have a look. Go for a walk.
Yep.
Yeah. You did that during lockdown, didn't you, Steve G? And you found loads of stuff locally.
Yeah, it was really enjoyable and just great to be walking out from home. And it's amazing what you can find. Really productive. And that figure for Mersey, Matt, was 88 species.
Oh, wow. So they must be in fourth place, I reckon.
It was fourth place.
Yeah. Oh, well done, guys. Brilliant.
Excellent. Great.
Well,
good. Well, I want to just kind of do something that for the next 30 seconds might come across as being, I don't know, a bit boring.
Right. While you're doing that, just one more message. King Cobra has said used to see buzzard and red kite using the thermals over the solar farm at Wicks, talking about energy things. So big massive solar area. Obviously, going to get a lot of thermals there. The Raptors love the thermals, don't they? Yeah.
Because I think there's 53 people as of this afternoon. For any that have added data later, new to the site, I apologise I don't have your details here, but I want to say a big thank you to you as well. But to Jim Hume, Kevin Townsend, Roger Emmons, Tim Hayward, Jan Lewis, Kay Fuller, Richard Allen, one other who wants to be anonymous, Glenn Evans, Martin Richards, Michael Davis, David Allen, Ian Tarbin, Arlene Holding, Simon Banks, Darryl Rhymes, Liz Uxley, Jeff Gooding, Yvonne Watling, Clive Tanner, Martin Pears, Albert Wickens, Brian Coombs, Mel, Andrew Allen, Andrew Cox, Ben Rumsby, Paul Brayshaw, Julia Todd, Paul Everett, Oliver Cottis, Barry Jones, Andrew Goody, Mark Bridges, Andrew Ducat, Entwistle, Oliver Cottis, Ben Rumsby, Martin Gathercole, Emma Robinson, Oliver Mark Cottis, Mara Jackson, Stephen Entwistle, Terry Mulby, Dougal Urquhart, David L. Smith, Jamie Thornton, my wife Elaine Swinney, Ben Rumsby, and Matt Turner and Steve Grimwade. I want to say thank you for recording data on our website on the Big County Birdwatch. You guys are the stars, whether 1, 2, 3, or 102. That's what really matters. It's recording. We're a recording society, and that's why we started this. And keep recording those birds. That way we can kind of see what's going on, share the good news of the rarities that come through and the big numbers and things like that, but also kind of make a difference for nature by seeing any concerns that, arise in that and what the trends are doing. Great.
Well, I just wanted to say a couple of thank yous as well. First of all, thank you to you, Steve, for presenting and putting this all together, and for your company over the weekend. Top bloke, and it's been a great, enjoyable weekend for me personally, and hopefully for the society it's been beneficial as well, and hopefully everyone that you just read out have all enjoyed themselves this weekend. I also wanted to thank my other half, Tina, who's kind of through there somewhere, and basically she hasn't seen me for 4 days, so she probably wants to thank you guys for that, I expect. But she's been great, and every night I've got in and I've now had dinner ready and rushing around doing all of this stuff. So thanks to my other half as well.
Yeah, it's just been, it's been so nice to meet so many people out in the field this weekend. And likewise, Matt, my wife Annette, like you say, I've seen her for like 20 minutes, every day it's like 20 minutes. It's like dinner, done, so she's been a star. So thanks so much for that. It's I think we all need a rest now.
We definitely do, yeah. No, well done to you two guys, because you took the lead on it this year. I've been busy with other work and other projects, and Steve and Matt have basically headed the whole thing up, advertised it, come up with it. I've just sat in the chair on these programs and done the easy bit really with their support. But thank you. And for Annette and Tina, thank you. And Annette and Tina, get your binoculars on and join the lane. You can go over natter. And if any of you are into knitting, you might just kind of sit in there knitting all this. As I think she was talking to Andrew's wife about as well, or asking about. But no, thank you. We appreciate you, and Elaine too. Yeah.
I've just had a quick message from Ben Rumsby to say that he finished on, and typically I can't find the message now when it's just.
Do you want me to tell you the number that he gave me?
Yeah, just come through.
125.
Oh. That's right, 125. Fantastic total.
Well done. Yeah. Brilliant, Ben.
We weren't doing a competition, or we weren't running this as a competition, as you said yesterday, and certainly we're not part of any competitive side of it at all. But I think Ben is clearly the person that's seen the most species this weekend. So we'll get a certificate out to you, Ben, and yeah, well done for that.
Well, not only that, he's done it in half the time of us because he's had school on Friday and Monday, and rugby on Sunday. So just keep going, Ben. Keep going and learning and developing your birds. You're going to be a real asset to the birding community in the future.
Yep.
Yeah,
well
good
said.
stuff.
Should we do our numbers?
Oh yeah, oh blimey.
Or should we just? No, let's forget it. Let's no, boys. Let's forget it. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter this year.
No, you know what? I've
It
done
really
mine.
doesn't matter this year.
I'm ready.
I've done mine.
Well, hang on a minute. That's in third place then, because I know for a fact. That's me.
Oh, well done, mate. 5-1. Oh, well done, Steve.
Well done.
Well done, 31.
And to be fair, that's what we said about Ben. I've been birding every hour for the last 4 days, pretty much. And Ben's just done, like you said, half the time, even less.
So we've got a couple of people saying thank you. Got King Cobra said thank you, guys. We'll be getting society membership in the next few days. Well done. Thank you for that. That's brilliant. Dave Smith has said thanks, guys. What a blast. And I apologise. I missed Dave's email text actually earlier. So very quickly, he sent an email with some of his pictures about a mixed flock of bits and bobs passing through woodland, including the firecrest, nuthatch, tree creeper, which were all in one tree, as you said, Steve.
Yep.
And then he didn't see it, but he heard a raven. And then a wet Mead, he got his 6th kingfisher in 4 days and added a house martin. I think you did say that, Steve, didn't you? So absolutely great work. Thank you very much, Dave. And sorry for missing that email.
Thanks to everyone. Thank you. Guys. You've been stars. We'll be back next month.
See you on the Birds of Essex or in the field. Thanks for everybody.
Take it easy.